Hi, it's Aaron for the Mind Body Project. Welcome back. So in video one we talked about signs and symptoms, and now in this video we're going to look at the actual causes. Now I'm doing a new course and this is all going to be on there in a lot more detail. I'm going to go through it in a lot of detail with causes and the signs and symptoms as well, and also going to design a checklist so you can go out and actually run through this and investigate to help yourself or help others as well. So this is causes, and this is what research from directly from the researchers actually, and functional medicine doctors, the people who get results. Remember, I study people who get results, who change people, who are the best in the world. Those people, not theories or anything else. This is like things that you need to go and check because this actually makes a difference in people's lives. So these are now causes. Alright, so depression is the label given to the set of symptoms I've given you in the first video, but the causes are, so let's go through them. So Hashimoto's thyroid disorder, so which is low thyroid autoimmune sensitivity to gluten. Now let's look at it this way. If you are doing mental health, if you're thinking about depression as mental health, then as I go through this list, you're going to realize that being able to help people, you're probably 9 times out of 10 you're not going to be able to help people if you view depression as mental health, because a load of these causes, like this one here, are nothing to do with trauma. And if you're just thinking that mental health is just to do with a trauma or someone's feeling sad or whatever, then you're not going to be able to help them. And that's what happens now. Everyone's just flooded with anti-depressants, and it doesn't work because it's not dealing with the actual cause. So here, that is one of the causes. You've got to start treating depression as mind-body health. In fact, all diseases, mind-body health. The human being is a system. As soon as you split a human being up and start going ear, nose and throat clinics and, oh, this is the weight loss part, this is the mental health part, this is the fracture stuff. As soon as you split the human body up, then you're missing out on treating them as a whole. So you're missing out, and you're not going to be able to help them as well. In fact, not even fractionally as well. So you need to keep that in mind. So Hashimoto's thyroid disorder is one. So heartburn, reflux. Now, for those of you here's what happens. So let's look at the human being as a system and behaviors again. So human beings will eat a load of acid, what I call acid foods, or a very like high sugar, highly processed foods diet. What that does is it causes heartburn. Then what you do as you go to the doctor and they give you another drug or a acid blocker or Gaviscon or something like that. And then what happens is you continue on with the behaviors that you're doing. You keep eating your nutrition, your pizzas, your crisps, all your acidy foods. You can still do the same behavior because now you've got an acid blocker. But then what happens is you can't absorb vitamin B12, which also causes depression. You see, you've got to treat it as a system. Causes. Yeah, the human being is a system. If you don't treat the body as mind, body, and find out what's going on, you can't help them. Yeah, and that issue wouldn't probably come up in sitting there in counselling or whatever. Yeah, that's not what would happen. So vitamin D deficiency. This is another thing. So in America, 80% of Americans actually have a deficiency in vitamin D. Now UK, where you get vitamin D from sunlight. So you're getting it from sunlight. So if you're working a lot indoors, then, and the other thing is in England as well, I mean, it's sunny today, but so we're all taking advantage of it, but usually it's not really that sunny in England. So especially around winter, everyone labels the condition SAD, seasonal affective disorder. It's because of the lack of vitamin D deficiency. Now this is especially apparent in ethnic minorities because they can't absorb as much. So therefore you may have to look at vitamin D supplements as well. But that's another thing for you to check as well. So vitamin D deficiency. Now the next thing is if you're taking a lot of antibiotics. If you're taking a lot of antibiotics, it changes what's your gut bacteria, your microbiome. Now your microbiome, that's 90% of your cells are in your gut, and if there's an imbalance, it causes a problem around the whole body. Gut-brain connection. There's something wrong with your gut, there's something wrong with it going on here, your brain as well. It's going to affect it. So taking that changes in bacteria, poor diets, stress, and antibiotics can lead to mood disorders. So that needs to be checked as well. Having too much seafood, sushi, mercury poisoning. Again, these are the things that these cause depression. And Dr. Mark Hyman was talking about this. He suffered from depression, he was trying everything, and he realised that he was eating so much seafood and he got mercury poisoning. As soon as that stopped, depression went away. So these are the things you've got to check. Omega-3 deficiency. Now, so what's happened is that loads of people, when they want to lose weight, what are they told? Hey, calories, 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 calories. So what happens? The food industry put traffic light systems on stuff, and anything that they've basically said fat equals bad, and so people have stopped eating fat, and then they get depression instead because they've stopped. Seeds and nuts and things are highly fat, and they're not eating them, and they're losing out on omega-3. And what happens? It causes depression because your brain is actually made of fat. So do you see what I mean? You need to look at the whole system, the whole human being. Too much sugar. So if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, that could cause an issue as well. So that causes depression as well. So too much sugar. So pre-diabetic. These are things to go and check. Now we've got loss or death. So you've got loss. So if you're grieving, it can lead to depression. But the thing is, grieving. Me personally, I don't usually do anything with that for a little while, because as I said, you have to have time to grieve. It's not an inappropriate reaction. So, but it can do. So grieving, trauma. Now trauma, this is where you can go to counselling. This is where you can go and deal with or timeline therapy, where you deal with the traumas or whatever. But yeah, trauma because of abuse or whatever. Yeah. Inflammation from food. Yeah, so if you're eating food that causes inflammation, so nutrition eating, so it's the same with food sensitivity as well. Imbalances in hormones, so adrenals, so thyroid and sex hormones. Yeah, as well. So nutritional deficiencies, so methylating nutrients, so folic acid, which was very interesting. So here's just a list of some of the nutrients deficiencies. So folic acid, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, omega-3. So these are vital for neurotransmitters, serotonin, epinephrine, norepinephrine and dopamine. So you need to have those because that creates those, and that makes you feel good. And if you don't have those if you're not eating properly, if you have deficiencies, then you're not going to get that. Lack of physical activity. So physical activity is being shown that the effects from physical activity, if you got it in a pill, it'd be the best pill ever. I mean, millions. It'd be a miracle cure if you have the effects from physical activity. It makes you breathe deeper, so you've got more oxygen in the body, which gives you more energy. You need more water, which also gives you more energy. You have a desire, you sort of craving healthier foods, which is exactly what you want, which is less toxins to you. It produces feel-good chemicals. There's so many different things. If you're not doing physical activity, and I'm going to show you some research from a tribe, the Kaluli tribe in Papua New Guinea, why they never have depression there, and why what they do compared to what the Western world does at the moment. So I'll go through some research on the course, by the way. So yeah, lack of physical activity. Dairy. So some people can get away with dairy, some people just can't. Yeah, it causes inflammation, especially what they do to some of the animals. So you have to be careful with dairy. Lack of quality protein. So yeah, you need the protein. Brain makes neurotransmitters from protein, so you need that. Lack of oxygen. Like I said, this is why physical activity is a good thing, because it does so many different things at once. So lack of oxygen. Oxygen is your energy supply. So you need oxygen. And people are not breathing properly. They're just not. You need to be breathing properly. And when you're doing that deep breathing, this is why meditation is really good as well, or deep breathing exercises. But physical activity causes you to breathe deeper, which gives you more oxygen into your body, which gives you more energy, which makes you feel better. Yeah, that's why physical activity is a really good thing as well. Lack of sleep or rest. Lack of sleep or rest. So sleeping, I'll go through research on this on the course as well. Basically, if you're not getting between 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, then you're basically going around operating with half your brain shut down. Some of the areas of the brain will actually shut off. So rational thinking you can't do rational thinking. And there's lots of research around this, so I'll show you that with you on the course, by the way. Being in a job that you don't like, so that's going to have some negative things happening from that. If you're in a job that you don't like and you feel that you're stuck and you just hate it, as I said, it's going to cause an issue as well. So that's another problem as well. 85% of people are in jobs that they hate, and I think it was 24% actually need a drink after work to cope, and I think it's 1 in 7 take sleeping pills to make sure because they're too stressed from work. So that's another issue, but more research to come on that. Lack of alkalizing fluids. So yeah, not drinking enough fluids. So a lot of people are having this, again, sitting there thinking, hey, calories, 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 calories. And they're sitting there drinking, Diet Coke or Pepsi Max or whatever, not realizing that they're still having, loads of toxins going in their body, even if they have that. And it still causes diabetes because it still causes a rush of insulin. So people, again, if you're thinking about calories, this is a weight loss thing, then you're going to have some issues as well. So especially mental health, depression. Yeah, so that's why you need to be thinking about everything at the same time, because you basically have the nutritional diet that a lot of the functional medicine doctors tell people to have is the same thing for all of the diseases. So it's not like it's oh God, I have to do it for this, I have to do it for this. No, it's the same thing. You just do the same thing, and it helps with all the diseases. Yeah, and the depression as well. Lack of meaning or purpose. One of the things on this course I'm going to be doing, I've got a mindset course, by the way, and a personal development course. But the mindset course is a pretty new course that I've just finished, and that will go into that in a lot of depth. Speaking about that, but I do on this course as well talk about it a little bit, not as much as the mindset course, but about your purpose. If you don't have nothing to aim for, then you feel that everybody else is going everywhere and you feel alone. It makes you lonely if you're not connected or don't have a connection to anything or a direction that you're headed in. Progress equals happiness. Yeah. So therefore you need to know which direction you're going in so you know you're progressing. Medication. So there's some medication. By the way, I'm not medically trained, so just go and double check this with your doctor. Go and actually go out there and actually check all this. But so these are known things that actually cause depression. So barbiturates, beta blockers, statins, antibiotics, just to name a few. I got this from medicinenet.com, so just go and check those out. And the other thing is as well, SSRIs, so selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. They're antidepressants, but they can cause suicidal ideas, and they're supposed to help you with the depression. So again, if anything like that does happen, speak to your doctor or speak to someone, whoever's dealing with you. Treat everything I say as unverified rumour, because who am I? I'm just some guy on the internet. So go and double check this for yourself. But just, and again, this is the checklist. You go and actually check all of this out, because it's been known to do that. You can research it yourself. Drugs, so alcohol. So alcohol is a known depressant. So people say, yeah, but I feel better when I drink. But like day after, you feel down. It's, as I said, it depresses. It's a depressant. Stress response. So I go into some research regarding the stress response, because essentially humans are our environment now is where you're stressed. You could be stressed for a couple of months at a time, where our genetics are only designed to actually deal with stress for an hour maximum, maybe a couple of hours maximum, but we're getting into that fight or flight response for months at a time and staying there, which is obviously going to take away energy and all the other stuff there. So you're not going to eat properly, and then it leads to depression as well. So those are just some of the causes. On the course I go through this in a lot more detail, and then you'll have the checklist, and then you can just go and research yourself, go with your doctor or whatever, and have a look at all the other things as well. But I just wanted to clarify between the signs and symptoms and then the causes, so things that you can actually go and look at doing and changing. But can you see that the causes are not, most of them, not even mental health per se? They are gut-brain connection. It's about looking after the whole of the body. It's about dealing with the whole of the body. The functional medicine doctors have been treating people with food as medicine, and because they've changed nutrition, then they've found that things like ADHD, depression, anxiety, and Alzheimer's are being reversed and going away. So that's the thing you want to be paying attention to, gut-brain connection. This is science, so you can go and check this out. But a lot of the things there that I've mentioned are, it's not just trauma or sadness, or you need to distinguish between the signs and symptoms and the actual causes. The causes are behavioural. It's what you're doing. You're either doing it consciously or unconsciously. But those are the things you want to be going to check. So I hope that this has helped, and as I said, the course, I haven't quite decided the name yet. At the moment it's called Overcoming Depression, but I want a better name than that, so I may change it. We'll see what it's called, but it will be announced very, very soon. It's almost, the content's done, and it will be out very, very, very soon. And there's a lot of new things and a lot of research, and obviously you've got the checklist, so you can go and check and go and do things. And then also I'm going to be doing some live courses, so anyone in Nottingham or Derby or whatever the area, if you want to come along and actually learn how to deal with depression through the Mind Body Project way, which is dealing with lots of techniques with the mind, then looking at what you're doing with your nutrition and physical activity, your water, and then breathing techniques as well. So if you want to do that, then just keep a lookout, because that'll be coming soon. So I hope this has helped though, and got rid of some confusion, because there has been. And you've got to understand that drug companies are there to make money. It's a business to them, and they essentially are, the doctors get their training from the drug companies, and the drug companies give them incentives to give you drugs. Yep, so that's how it works. That's a fine system for the drug companies, and I ain't got a problem with that. They're probably doing some good stuff as well, but it's not necessarily going to help with that depression in the long term anyway. So I hope that helps, and see you on the next videos. Cheers.